Hey, what's up? And today I'm talking Nikon, which I haven't shot Nikon in like 10 years. So for me to talk about Nikon cameras means something big must have happened. I'm a professional sports photographer, news photographer, entertainment, commercial, all those things. But most notably, I cover the NFL. I do a lot of sports, covering the SEC tournament this week, for example. Just got done covering the Super Bowl last month. So thought I'd give my input on a little bit of the Z9, the Alpha 1, the R1, kind of all of these things. So first off, the Nikon Z9. Now I am looking at NikonRumors.com. I check Nikon rumors and Canon rumors quite a bit, but Nikon rumors has obviously kind of leaked some specifications. But Nikon has officially, Nikon has officially announced that this camera is happening. Number one, we have a bit of a teaser of what the shape of the camera looks like, and it looks like a Nikon D6 or a Canon 1DX Mark III. That's what I want to see. I want to see Canon and Nikon go with that full unibody design. As a professional that uses these cameras for news, sports, entertainment, everything in between, I want that one body. I want it all to be one. If you compare like a 5D and a 1DX, usually the camera that's all built into one is actually lighter when you include the grip and the batteries, at least historically. So I'm hoping that if you're going to use a grip anyways, this will actually end up being lighter than something like an R5 or Sony or Z or whatever would be with an external grip. Now, I haven't obviously done the math. There's nothing to compare it to because there's no unibody mirrorless camera yet. But number one, that's a big win. Number two, full frame sensor. Obviously, this is a big win to me. I know some birders and stuff like that want to see the crop sensor. I'm excited to see the full frame sensor. I want that full field of view. And then going along with that, we have 8K video. And now, while 8K video isn't that important to me, I own an R5. I've never shot it in 8K video the entire time I've owned it. But what it means is the sensor is going to be capable of doing at least 45 or so megapixels, which is really exciting. I said in my R6 review that I think 20 megapixels isn't really where professionals need to be anymore. I think we've kind of moved past that. I still use my 1DX Mark IIIs. I used them at the Super Bowl. I caught a lot of flack for saying that. But clearly, Sony, Canon, and Nikon agree with what I'm saying. And a lot of people in my shoes, we want that higher resolution. I am extremely excited to see that this camera is probably going to be in the 40 to 50 megapixel range. Once you use it, you'll understand why, because you can crop those pictures really, really well. That's the exciting part of the 8K video. We're going to have high speed and high resolution, which has been one of my favorite things about using the R5. Whenever I do take it out to a sporting event, I can shoot the other end of the field, or I can shoot across the stadium, and I can still crop in. I work as an editor for an agency, and I'll be intaking photos, and we have a minimum pixel width. We got to have at least 3,000 pixels on files we intake. And a lot of times recently, with people being further back, when they go to crop on their 300 or whatever they're using, they are not hitting that 3,000 pixel limit, and we have to figure out what to do. But oftentimes that means you can't take the photos because they're too small. I mean, no one can run like a 1,200 pixel photo on a news website or a news in print and stuff like that. So we need that resolution, and having that higher resolution lets you have a lot more room for cropping. When it comes to commercial work, high resolution's the game. I mean, everybody wants to be able to crop for Instagram, crop for this, crop for that. So you can shoot something a little more loose and you can crop it in. They're saying 20 frames per second, 16-bit RAW might be possible, improved AF, XQD, CF Express Type B memory card slots. I would say that's probable, saying as Nikon's been doing that firmware update. I love the CF Express cards. I use them in all my cameras now, so it's exciting to see that they might be able to use both or one of the two, I guess, whatever. So we're seeing a lot of features that I would like to see as a professional. The frame rate's good if it's 20, like this rumor site says. That's kind of where I need to be, is 15 to 20. I don't need 30. If you need 30, you have a problem. The data management of 30 frames per second would be an actual nightmare regarding the Sony Alpha 1. I'm hoping that the Canon comes in a similar place, as I'm in a Canon, world right now, unless someone decides to sponsor me. But I'm going to be buying a Canon camera, and I'm hoping that they do similar to what I'm seeing with this Nikon. I want to be in that plus 40 megapixel range. I want to be in the 16 to 20-ish frames per second. That's plenty. And I know people are like, well, if you have more, you always turn it down. It's like, you will never need it. If you miss the frame at 16 or 12 frames per second, you missed it at 20. Like, you got to be there before the play happens. Like, I don't know. I never think like, oh, if only I had 4 more or 10 more frames per second, I would have got the photo. It's, I don't know. That's silly. But really excited to see it be a unibody. Really excited to see it look like it's going to keep some of those physical controls, at least in the photos they have here. Physical dials on the camera, which is going to be great. I like seeing that. I like seeing the ports that I expect to see on a professional camera. You know, I want sync ports. I want remote cable setups. Those are some of the things that I use as a professional throughout the year that I really, really need to have. And one of the reasons that the R5 kind of was more professional to me than the R6, because those little things, you end up using them as a pro throughout the year. Maybe, yeah, one day review, you wouldn't need those things, but I'm really excited to see this Nikon have some of those features, some of those controls that I expect to see physically on the camera. Can't see if it's a flip out screen. Can't see much else of anything. I hope it's not a flip out screen personally. I don't want a flip out screen on a camera like a 1DX. Sure, I use it once in a while and things, but like as a still photographer covering sports, I want durability to be number one. I want durability over everything else. So this thing is looking great. If I'm honest, I'm not a Nikon person, but this looks like what Nikon users have been waiting for. So I know that's a lot of stuff to take in, and I know it's kind of a quick hit version of what they said, but my end of the video wrap up would be, this is an amazing camera. I'm really excited to see it come from Nikon. I'm hopeful Canon's following it right up with the R1. I don't know anything about that camera, but I'm hoping it has that high resolution. I'm hoping it's in that 20-ish frames per second mode. That would be great. All the things about it look really, really good. The big problem for Nikon, though, is how to handle their service. The reason people are leaving Nikon that I know in the professional world isn't because of the cameras or the lenses. It's because of their service. Their repair time is horrible. Their professional support is almost non-existent. A lot of people have just expressed their dismay over how bad it is getting something fixed or repaired or support in any way. And that's a thing that Canon and even Sony users are really, really happy about with their products. Canon has the best professional services I've ever dealt with. If I send a camera out today, on Wednesday, I will have it back on Friday, totally repaired. Now, I pay for that membership every year. That's fine by me, because I can break something on a weekend at a game, and I can have it back for the next game. That is priceless. I don't have to use it all the time, but when I do, it's really, really nice to have that peace of mind. Nikon, on the other hand, it sometimes takes weeks, months. The repairs are very expensive often. They need to focus on fixing those things to keep the professional customers. However, this Z9 is exactly what a lot of them wanted to see. This says we're going forward, we're making innovative products, we're here, we're listening. This is going to take you through the next couple of years. And it also has a little 24-70 2.8G on there, or Z lens on there. I don't know if that was already existed, because again, I don't shoot Nikon, but hopefully they followed up with lenses to support it. You know, these cameras are only as good as the lenses we can put in front of them, and Canon has a great selection of EF glass, and their RF lenses are second to none. I absolutely love the RF glass, and let's hope that Nikon and Sony, keep stepping it up in that regard too, because right now you can't even get a 300-2.8 on a Sony. So hey, thanks for watching, and if you aren't already, go follow me over on Instagram. Check out my photojournalism podcast, Reciprocity Podcast, which has lots of great people on it as often as I can get them. And if you work at Nikon and you want to send me this camera to test out, I would love to put it through its paces in a professional work environment. But yeah, you got to send me some lenses too. I don't have any Nikon glass. Thanks for watching, everybody.